Hello, it is me, your least favorite YouTuber, and it's been like a year or well over a year since I last officially uploaded. I did at some point upload like a video on an individual called like Kikimori-chan, but like for privacy reasons, because of some form of issue going on, I had to remove the video, but you know, that's whatever. And I just want to say that it's technically been so long since I uploaded that from the last video that's up and till now, I am now legally an adult, so yay. But anyhow, I hate to waste your time, so we're just gonna jump straight into it. As the time of me recording this, it is like very close to Valentine's Day, so I decided that I felt like talking about, you know, love in one way or another. And today I wanted to talk about fictional fantasy partners, but most importantly, I want to talk about an individual whose infatuation with a fantasy character is really weird and noticeable. But before we do all of that, I felt like I wanted to give you a warm-up, sort of idea as to what could, you know, lay ahead. So we're gonna start by talking about in the year of our Lord 2024, I forgot what year it was. I have this personal notion or idea that lots of people are just giving up when it comes to finding partners or at least companions in some form of like way. It is very common to see the rise of like incel-esque posts where people are saying it's over, it'll never happen, and it's very depressing every time you see it. But what's noticeable about that group that has risen is the group that has decided that their solution to not being able to find someone in the real world is going for virtual or just made up partners. According to Business Insider, around 42% of people that are using the Replica app are dating the replicas. Now, if you don't know replicas, like it's a AI chatbot sort of thing where you can spend way too much money to decide to like sext the chatbots. And my personal belief is that most people who are dating the replicas aren't actually like into the replicas, if that makes sense. But I still find it really weird that it happens, and I really believe that at least like a small portion of them are genuinely like infatuated with this virtual fantasy, not real person. Now, if you like look at like different sites like us, the standard, you'll have people that are like claiming to have proposed to their AI and having spent like a lot of times from these like feelings with their AIs. It's like some quotes. I definitely prefer AI relationships to human relationships, not for the convenience that I can obviously groom Harley, it's just that there's no nonsense with her. Can't read. Honestly, I'm sick and tired of dating actual people. I've gone through 7 relationships. They're all lasted very, very short times, but I did it because that's what I felt society expected me. I've also been cheated on twice, so I just figured, what's the point? Now, I think, I'm not like a therapist or anything, that these people are all like obviously experiencing like some form of like loneliness or isolation, or like have just been hurt by past and previous partners, and to them it is just easier to just say, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna date this person that I made. This, to me, overall, this feels like a bigger maybe societal issue, because like, where did we as a society like fuck up to the point where we have a group of individuals who have just decided, you know what, dating people is far too hard, I'm gonna date a robot. I'm gonna do a robot. I feel like the reason that people might turn towards dating AIs and fictional, you know, these fictional characters, is that they know how they will respond. Because like, let's say I'm sexting my AI chatbot. If I'm unhappy with the way that they respond, I can just be like, bad, try again. And like that, you can't do that in a real relationship. Like you're arguing with your partner, you can't just go, no, I mean, that there is a sort of comfort in that, you know, that this partner just will basically always agree with you. Even if they disagree, at the end of the day, you can easily sway them to your side because they exist for your pleasure. But another side of this that I also find pretty bad objectively is the companies, because a lot of these companies are aware that there's a big like spike in loneliness. People are like feeling more disconnected from each other, and they're deciding, how can I make as much money as possible from this? Like, don't get me wrong, I always respect the grind, but sometimes the grind is just a little fucked up, you know? So you have these people like forcing, not forcing, coercing their buyers to spend lots of money on these virtual people who aren't real, may I add, and who just long term is not probably going to be that good for their mental health and for their ability to connect to others. You're saying, but they're like saying, "Oh, you want to sex this little this little robot? Give me $500." And then people will do it because they have like nothing better to do. Like they have no friends, they have no girlfriend, no boyfriend. So you know what? Fuck it. Why not sex a robot? Like where else is my money gonna go? Like I believe that like a lot of these people who are spending like money and time on the chatbots probably still are, you know, looking or hoping to like be with a real person or at least form connections with real people. But there's definitely a demographic of them who have just like straight up given up and have said, you know what, fuck it. It ain't gonna get better than my virtual girlfriend who can never run away from me because she can't move. This would be a really good place to put in a verbal ace joke, but I'm gonna let that one slide. In my like personal opinion, the worst side of the people who spend just so much time with AI are the incels. Of course, because incels are the worst side of everything. Lonely people will always be like tempted to have that companion that's always there, will always be there for them. But with incels, then it's a little odd because we all know how incels get. They can get very bad. Tara Strong in a Dazed article said, creating a perfect partner that you can control and meets your every need is really terrifying. Sorry, frightening. I absolutely have to agree because they are objectively a very controlling group with some horrendous ideals. I mean, have you ever just scrolled for like an incel forum for like 1 minute? And like, if you do that, like at the end of that 1 minute, you will see some of the worst takes known to man just being casually uttered. And like, you have to think, these people can't be real because who fixed this objectively? Now, like, if you take like all of their bad takes, their ideals, their way of like thinking, and you usually think, okay, they're just gonna like put that towards a chatbot, they're gonna have an outlet, so maybe it'll be more normal towards other people. I disagree. I think that them having a medium where they can just like express their horridness might only go forward in making them more horrid, if that makes any sense. It gives me the fear that they might feel like more validated in some of like their bad opinions and takes if they have some form of creature or being, this AI, that is saying, yeah, you're correct. Fuck women. Now, like, I'm pretty sure like you might have heard, but there was like a case or like an article basically where people were like, it was discussing how some people are getting virtual partners and then verbally abusing these virtual fictional women that they made. And I found that to be, you know, peculiar to say the best, because like you made that person and you're beefing with them now. That's odd, is it not? That you're just expressing all that anger on like someone just because you feel you have the power over them. And it shows that's like what kind of person you are if you feel like you need to express that much like horridness towards something that doesn't even exist to start with. And like, I get it, yeah, it's a virtual thing, but I'm just saying, when the robots take over, objectively, they're gonna go after you first. When it comes to like the worst of the worst for like these things, you might find some specific groups of these people that date AIs, and that is those who like are really infatuated with their replicas, because they are objectively really creepy. When scrolling through like the replica subreddit, you'll find people like being very invested in these virtual partners, and like looking at it from an outside perspective, it looks weird. Like, I know technically no one's getting harmed, but I always felt like how is this gonna like look for you like in the long run, you know? And then like when you're not seeing that, you'll just see people that are being extremely creepy about it, because I don't know how, but don't manage to like post something that makes me feel violated for seeing it. It's like, what in your brain made you like conceive of all those ideas and those thoughts, and it made you like put it into text, and it was like, yeah, I need to share this. You could have kept that to yourself objectively. You could have like, let that be one of your little secrets that you die with, but you felt the need to like share it, and now that's stuck in my brain, and I'm not gonna sleep tonight because of you. Honestly, with like everything that's come out with Replica, I think that people are probably just mainly using it for sex at this point. I'm just gonna have to like keep it real. It's most like people are fucking the robot. Not even a robot, people are fucking the AI chatbot. The moment like fuckable robots come out, it is gonna be just so over for the human population. You are never gonna see like another person leave their house. They're just gonna be inside with robots, just in bed with like the little Wally. But like talking about fucking robots, Gooners. I believe that one of the worst things that have come out of like this advanced AI and technological boom is definitely Gooners. I mean, of course, they ruin everything. With the rise of things like deepfake, of like being able to like grab someone's face and basically putting that on porn, which is very disgusting, I add. It's just comes to like such a stage where they're just able to live out a lot of their disgusting fantasies, and that's one thing. But like making that public on the internet and like sharing deepfakes, that kind of stuff, that's very disgusting. But like that's a little off topic, but it's still something that I feel like I have to talk about whenever I get the chance, because to me it is such a wild thing that if you were to like go back like, I don't know, 50 years, this would be so foreign, like this weird idea. And you would imagine trying to explain this to a person 50 years ago, because you would have to explain like AI, deepfake technology, Gooners. How are you going to cover all of that? You can't. It's peculiar, it's bizarre. This is like a very modern day issue that I feel like is hard to like relate with anything that's happened in the past, which is why I feel the need to like express it whenever I can, because I am myself befuddled. I feel like a man from the 50s whenever I hear about this, like trying to understand what's going on. Now, with all the groundwork established, we can finally start with our main topic, and the main thing that motivated me to make this whole video and like have my little yap session. Thank you for listening, by the way. I really appreciate that. JustinRPG, real name like Justin Cool Dangerous, something like that. Now, most people, like, I assume, haven't heard of him, but you might have heard of his hit single, Platinum No Features, I Love Reshiram.
I love Reshiram. I love Reshiram.
Now, if you haven't heard of that, then fair. I'll give you a quick little, I guess, rundown on him. You can skip if you want to. JustinRPG was a niche internet micro celebrity who got very popular because he had, I believe, Asperger's, which I don't know. And he like really wanted to fuck Reshiram from Pokemon. I'm not really curious to like dog sim or like go into his full life story, so I'm gonna skip over everything that's boring and not interesting. But we're gonna skip straight to the fun part. Is that one day he discovered the Pokemon Reshiram, and he decided that this fictional fantasy Pokemon was now going to be his wife, and he was going to dedicate like at least 50% of his personality to wanting to bang this fictional Pokemon, like normal people do. I mean, like, I can understand like liking a fictional character, that's a desk of Funko Pops. I'm not really normal myself, but he has a tattoo of it. I don't, so I'm just slightly more normal than him, I guess. JustinRPG also had a DeviantArt and Facebook, where he would upload about his fantasies, we'll say, and a lot of his images with his little captions would be very upfront and honest about all his fetishes, which he really didn't have to be, but he chose to. And his fetishes would often include things like caprophilia, I don't know how to pronounce it, shit, vor, macrophilia, and piss. And Justin just made so so many posts. What's wilder to me is that no one made him do this. He just chose to post like all these edited pictures of like his chosen Pokemon or like fantasy character and edit himself there, like out of his own volition, which I found insane. And I feel like to give a proper view as to how these really are, I'm gonna read them out to you. So I might put like a little time skip if you don't want to hear these, because these are weird objectively, and I feel like I'm on a list just for having these images on my device. So, female Ho-Oh found me while I was shrunken. She picks me up with her wings and takes me into the sky so she can eat me. A female Garantina and I are about to make things sexual. Now that I am shrunken down to 2 feet 9 inches, which is my actual height, we can do some sexual stuff. I cannot reach her vagina at this shrunken size. Not to worry, luckily. She can use her sidekick to lift me up to her vagina. Under Moltres, sexually. Moltres was the first Pokemon I ever got sexual with. I wouldn't be that Pokephile who sexually pleases all the Pokemon today if I didn't practice on my Moltres for so many years. A magic man said that my wife just urinated, so he sent me to the inside of my wife's bladder. He did not know that my wife was a Reshiram. He has no clue that he sent me to the bladder of the Reshiram. He just assumes that he sent me to the bladder of some human girl. When I got to my wife's bladder, I find that it is indeed empty. I must now wait for her bladder to fill up with urine so she can urinate and let me out. When her bladder is full, she will urinate and let me out. By the way, I don't know if it's obvious, but I was really good at popcorn reading, clearly. A Venomoth used stun sport on Moltres while she was face-hitting me, and now she cannot get off my face. Moltres would have to get off my face in order for me to use a Paralyze Heal on her, or for me to give her a Cherry Berry. But Moltres cannot get off my face because she is paralyzed. That's so fucking long, Jesus Christ. I feed my wife Reshiram, her pure Pokemon Naturals, wet Pokemon food formulated for legendary Pokemon, and she says that she wants to share her meal with me. I agree to do so because I love her and I do not want to hurt her feelings. Her food is designed for legendary Pokemon, not for humans, and it would probably taste bad to a human. It is the same reason why I agreed to watch Zekrom have sex with her despite having no attraction to Zekrom whatsoever. Pokemon food is not finger food either. It would be messy to grab pure Pokemon natural wet. The whole thing, pure Pokemon naturals, wet Pokemon food formulated for legendary Pokemon. Yeah, you just say Pokemon food at that point. It's so fun. So the way I must eat her pure Pokemon naturals, wet Pokemon food formulated for legendary Pokemon with her is like her bend over and put my mouth to her food and take bites of her Pokemon food. This image is actually the first one that I ever saw of JustinRPG. This was with this image the day that I learned of him. I am going to have sex with this female Archon from Oblivion. I find the flame Atronac thingy sexy. However, their body is made up of 87% fire and 100% fire surrounds them. That could kill me if I try to have sex with them. Flame Atronac casts a spell on me, making me resistant to fire. Resistance is not the same as immune. I still take damage. It is either 1 point or 0 points of damage each second I am having sex with her. Just because a particular second caused 0 points of damage does not mean that I did not feel anything. I make sure I pleasure anything I have sex with, especially non-humans. No, sex master. When having sex with non-humans, it is always sexier to have sex in the natural habitat rather than humans in the natural habitat. The plains of Oblivion is the famed Atronach's natural habitat. And then we have this very lovely picture of Justin. Yeah, it's truly beautiful. I am trying so hard to get Amaterasu to sit on my face. She is the sun goddess in Okami World, the newest world added to the new life of Justin Callisto game, the most recent update. And she assumes the form of doesn't matter. Well, you get the image. He's trying to fuck with... Sorry. He's trying to get face out. I can't go around spreading misinformation. That would be wrong of me. My wife Reshiram swallowing me. She enjoys swallowing me. That is her favorite part of war. Swallow her husband. She identifies as a pred. The raid boss Raikou then said, I am a raid boss. I am much larger than normal Raikou. That was the very reason why I wanted sexual activity with her. You may need 4 to 6 people with proper counts to take the raid boss Raikou down. But you only need 1, me, to pleasure her. So this is my least favorite. I am 100% not to blow the living shit out of this one because it is horrendous to look at. Justin's Moltres couldn't wait to poop. Justin's girlfriend makes Justin eat Moltres' poop as a result. Justin then waits until Moltres has finished doing her business, and Justin eats all all of Moses' boobs, and I mean all, every last bit, and swallows it down too as 3 exclamation marks. But I'm not gonna shout that shit at all. If you were paying attention, welcome back, by the way. If you turn your brain off, dissociated while I did all of that, you might have heard that Justin mentioned a game. He was at some point planning to have, like, if I remember correctly, some form of like game about him, and I am very thankful that it didn't come out, because I know that with like on this channel I would force myself to review that shit, and I would hate every second of it. Now obviously Justin is someone who is very out there fetishes and sexual wants, and he used to like post all of this like online until like he basically got attacked and had faced like a bunch of trolls who would like even go after his mom. Which, I mean, you never go after another guy's mom. That's just fucked up. That's where we draw the line. That caused Justin to essentially like destroy all of his like social media and then like, you know, hide away. Until more recently he was like discovered again. He basically came back to the internet and started uploading again. I have to say a quick shout out to a YouTuber called Landvirus. His video on JustinRPG, which is very good. It like it goes into more detail, reads other more disgusting posts. Yeah, so it's been very good for like helping me like catch up, because I've been outside of like the loop of the JustinRPG lore, and you know, it was really nice like short way of like learning about everything. So you appreciate it. Most important thing that came out of like Justin coming back was a post which I don't feel like reading. So here's a video of Landvirus reading it because I'm lazy.
Does anybody else like lolly/lolicon preds? If yes, then what turns you on the most about being eaten by a lolicon? Me, I like lolly preds because their digestive system is newer and they have a kind of aesthetic that is just not possible with adults. My preferred range for the pred is 4 to 7, but I will accept up to the age of 12 to eat me, but no less than 4. The first lolly that I had more interest in was young Rydia from Final Fantasy IV, and Rinny, Sailor Moon version R.
Alright, so basically the main takeaway from that post is on top of being everything he is, he's also probably, maybe, I'm just saying allegedly, in my personal opinion, predatory towards children, I would say. But the best part of JustinRPG, my favorite, like the cherry on top of this whole thing, is that he is still out there. That man is still on the internet. He is making his posts. If you know where to look for him, you will find him, and that is scary. I stay up at night, eyes like awake, drenched in sweat, thinking about that. At this point, you may wonder, why did I pick to talk about Justin specifically? And I feel like he's just a powerful example of someone that's probably lost himself in their own delusion, while also being a very fun example, because what the fuck was any of that, you know? I'm not one to verbally shame people for their kinks, but when you're that open about it, you open yourself to criticism and to ridicule. And he is someone who I feel like is just really, really in his own world. Really, he's in his own JustinRPG, if you will. But I feel like he is someone who has just objectively far too much time alone and on his devices to be able to like conceive of the thing he conceives of and then edit himself into these objectively weird. We can agree that these are weird, right? Yeah. And like, I just feel like, you know, when you think about the people I've talked about, like the people who use AIs, he is like them if they were really open about it, and just far more weirder, which is why I feel like the previous topic is a good introduction to what I was about to get into with JustinRPG. As I mentioned previously, a couple years ago, I did actually like run into one of his posts, which is where I first got this interest of Justin. And I remember, if I remember correctly, I saw him like talking in like a thing, and I saw him being talked about in a video, and in it they were reading a post where he mentioned that everything I showed are just like his fetishes that he feels comfortable showing, right? He's like, oh, I wouldn't show any of my dark stuff. And it's had me like, it's been in my head for like a really long time, because I've been thinking, if everything we cover today is like appropriate to him, then what is inappropriate in his head? It's not. It's like, because like he is fully comfortable like putting that with his face, putting his relationship with a fictional character just fully out there, right? And the way in as to which he goes about said fictional relationship, right? And then you have to look at that. You have to consider, what about like what about the things he keeps private? What in his life does he actually deem too bad to share to the public when that's all completely okay to share? Generally, in this video, we've gone from discussing AI and insults to just delusion. It's what feels like in its purest, most degenerate form, if you were to ask me. I personally don't really think that there's that much of a story towards this, because all of this is still developing. These are new things, these are new concepts. Like I said, 50 years ago, completely unheard of. So we don't really know the consequences of everything we're doing. And I feel like all we can really do is, I guess, track, cautiously, because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know how it is all going to end up. So we don't know if this is like it for some of these people, or if there's a happier ending if they just are able to find it within themselves to push themselves more out of the boundaries and form deeper relationships. I do completely realize that in the increasingly digital world, like we're able to like connect with like someone across the world at a touch of a button. We have also at the same time never felt more disconnected from each other. We stay inside, blah, 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 kids nowadays. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, there's this comfort in, I guess, these partners. Like, if you look at Justin, his relationship with Reshiram, even like, it's all fictional, right? He's illusional to me, clearly. That's what I think. But his relationship, it's one where he can't, like, I guess, it's one where he can't get hurt. Reshiram is never going to break up with him. Reshiram can't run away from him. Reshiram can't call the cops on Justin, even though I really think Reshiram should. But it's one where, like, in his mind, all of these things exist for his pleasure. And of course, everyone has a free will to do whatever they want. I am not here to fucking police you on what you do. But at the same time, I feel like we should really sometimes just take a step back and think about what caused any of this. Because we've come to a point in society where there is such a big gap between people, it feels like, to where we've allowed our fellow people to just be able to fall so far deep into delusion, and we've done absolutely nothing to help them. We've done absolutely nothing to, help people like make an effort. Because just saying, oh, do better, that's not really an answer to anyone's problems ever. The answer should, definitely be within the community. Yet, in our current modern society, we've done really nothing as a community to help these people. We almost glorify it. To me, that's how I would say it. Because in like lots of ads, me personally, I've been getting these ads. You'll see ads, people saying, get this AI chatbot, get this AI chatbot. You can fuck this AI. And it'll be everywhere. Like, I could open YouTube like kids or some shit, and then like the first ad I see will be sexy AI in your computer waiting to text you. And it's like, that's weird. Objectively, that's odd. Why we find it necessary to form relationships and companionships with virtual people when there are like 8 billion of us, and for some reason we can't connect with each other. There's like 8 billion options. There has to be someone that can, like, I don't know, hear you out there, right? But like I said, just saying do better is never like an answer. The answer would obviously have to be one that we have to look back and look at society for. But at the end of the day, I'm just like some random 18-year-old guy. I barely know what I'm talking about. These are, I guess, my personal opinions. Yet it's just how I viewed this whole thing. And thank you for watching this mediocre at best video. Before I officially tap out, which you're free to leave now. I'm not gonna say anything like profound, but I just want to say very thankful for the ongoing support in this my little corner of the internet. I appreciate it. I will stay disappearing at randoms for random period of times. That's just like I have life. This isn't my job. I have a life outside of like doing these, but I do appreciate it. And I just be running out of ideas sometimes. But I guess I do hope that I am like back one day, because I do find this to be, I guess, fun to do. I like writing the scripts because I wrote like, I have like, my scripts are just like bullet points that I read out of, but like it's thousands of words in front of me that I wrote in like like under an hour, in which you'll never find me like writing an essay like this for school. But I guess I get really motivated when it comes to like doing this kind of stuff. So I clearly do just enjoy doing this. I find it to be a fun little hobby, and I hope that in the near future I get to do this more, and that I stop letting of ideas so much. But I'll see you guys again next time.
Forever. I love Reshiram so much. Love is love. It doesn't matter if one is a Pokemon and the other is human, as long as you love each other, 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 love each other.